I'm going to call this meeting to order, and we have the minutes from May 23rd.
I move that we approve the minutes of the Select Board meeting on May 23rd.
I second.
Okay, any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I'll abstain.
Okay, and moving on, we have warrants 25, 25P, the payroll, and we have to ratify 24A, and that was the, let's see, one of our road crew has resigned, and he wanted to pay ahead his insurance, health insurance, under the Cobra plan. So that's, and the donations that we received for the memorial tree, for that check. So that's ratifying that. So,
I'll move that we approve warrants 25, 25P, and ratify warrant 24A.
I'll second that.
okay, any discussion? Okay, under warrant 25, the total is $19,902.45. And that was used to purchase fuel, electricity from Green Mountain Power, gravel from Renault. There were payroll transfers and legal notices, office supplies, repair to the backhoe, parts for the new grader, supplies for the highway department, and to remove some hazard trees on East West Road. So, any more discussion?
I'm just curious, were the hazard trees the ones that we talked about for the Prospect Hill?
No, they
Okay,
were,
that's a separate, okay.
yeah.
Okay.
So, any more discussion? All those in favor? Aye. All right. Let's see, we have visitors and public comments. Under new business, further down our agenda, we have a liquor catering request from the Whetstone station for, is it June 30th?
That's correct.
Yeah. And we can hold off on going into our liquor commission until later, but we can invite the representatives from Whetstone if you want to. We can have a little chat about this and right up here.
Hello. I'm sorry, I'll try not to be obnoxious.
Okay.
Hi.
Hi.
Do you know everyone here?
I've certainly seen
Okay.
most people.
Small town, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, small towns. Yeah.
Okay. And for our viewers at home,
James
Yeah.
Brannigan.
you want to introduce yourselves, just so.
Go ahead.
James Brannigan, operations manager at Whetstone Station Brewery.
And David Heiler, owner and general manager of Whetstone Station Restaurant Brewery and co-owner of Campfires Campground here in Dummerston.
Okay. Great. All right. So, you're requesting a catering license for an event on June 30th. And it's, what is it, from 12:30 to 8?
12:30 to 8.
Okay, and you're anticipating 1,000 to 1,500 people to come during the day?
Most likely about 1,000, and the event itself runs from 1 to 7 p.m.
Okay, all right,
But we're just giving some room on either side to,
Mhm.
you know.
okay.
Can you give us like a debrief, like how did it go last year? Because I know it's a little bit of a different venue, but just can you kind of just so everybody can hear on who's watching, if
Certainly.
our big audience.
So last year we did the Street Food Fest for the first time. We are hoping to do that event again this year, same weekend.
What weekend is that?
This year it'll be September 22nd.
Okay, so in September.
Yeah, it's the
Okay.
third weekend in September. And it was a great event. Obviously there were some things we wanted to change about it, but it ran, I think, approximately the same amount of time. I think, if anything, that event ran a little bit longer than we needed it to. We saw some parking issues, which I think we've resolved for these events this year, for this event this year. But it was a great event. People came throughout the day, and we had about 15 food trucks and about 4 different vendors of other merchandise. 2 bands played, and we did NECA had a center circle performances in the middle of it. And it seemed like it was a very well-received event. The issues we ran into, I think, that we want to resolve are a little bit more accessibility for persons in need of some handicap accessibility, to make that pathway a little easier. We're putting out hay bales. There'll be 50 hay bales to sit on, as well as some seating tables. We had tents out. There'll be 2 20 by 40 tents for shade. We have more grass this year. Last year was a bit of a gravel pit. And we have secured the field across the way, which for parking from Josh from the Reformers' grandfather owns the field that they ended up
On the same
parking.
side of Route 5 as you
It's
are?
across the street, I believe.
Across the
Yeah,
street.
Yeah. And we've secured that for these events this year, and they'll be used right off the bat for parking. The other concerns that I think we wanted to address were last year we felt that the volunteers that had been hired by the New England newspaper company, which they're the actual sponsors of these events, left a little early, and I think that the traffic officer that they had also left a little early. So we want to make sure that we have that throughout the event, that there's somebody that's monitoring that. Anything else you can think of?
I thought in terms of the beer side, I thought it went really well. We worked closely
yeah.
with Kim McLeod, our local DLC investigator, and I was in close contact with her. She helped me design the fencing, so it was all safe. We had 2 people at all times at the gate, ticketing people, getting wristbands, and then getting IDs. So we followed all the DLC state compliance stuff, and especially for safety too. That was the most important thing.
Yeah, we did a little safety speech before the event as well, making sure people, if they noticed anybody underage, or if anybody was handing off beers to somebody without a wristband, to report that directly to us or to any of the people working the festival, and that we would take care of that.
So, and what's your thought this year then? So you identified the traffic. What do you have a plan already in place that you thought of? Like what's your plan with the sheriff's department or the volunteers for the pedestrians crossing and then that corner?
That's a great question, and that's we have worked with the New England newspaper company. They're the ones that are doing this, and we've been at every one of their meetings to try to suss things out. And that's a question that I have not heard them answer yet. So they are really, they were all about. We said, hey, we really want your volunteers to stick around. There's a little bit of confusion at the end of the day yesterday. It seemed like people took off, and they were like, absolutely, we'll have people here. And I think that that's something I want to make sure that there's a lot of safety there crossing the street. So I'll bring that up with them, and I can get back to you any way you'd like me to.
Yeah, and it's
Let me know what
not
the
just
best way to do that is.
volunteers, it's also the professionals dealing with the traffic and the pedestrians.
I think it's a police officer.
Yeah.
We had one on site last year, but
for too
not
short
for the
of a
whole
time.
day.
Yeah.
And I don't remember what time they left, but I feel like it was
It was a
shorter
little
than
too
we
early.
wanted.
Yeah.
So we'll
And David, what about neighbors in terms of direct communication with neighbors? Are you guys in touch with, how did you do that last year? Did you hear anything from neighbors after the fact?
I didn't hear anything negative after the fact. Last year, I invited them to come walk the site with us. I showed them where the show was going to be.
So you
gave
knocked
them
on all the doors?
Yeah, we actually invited the entire Poplar Commons. Other than Poplar Commons, I didn't invite anybody else, but they were the ones that expressed concerns, and I invited the whole Poplar Commons to come down and meet with us. And they did. I had a group of them, and we walked the entire site, and I gave them my personal phone number. No, better than that, I gave them all vouchers to come down for the day, and they could actually go to any of the vendors. And I gave them, I think we had a handful of vouchers that we handed out and offered to them. They have my cell phone number, which I'll give them again. And if there's issues, I'm more than happy to chat with them. I think I addressed questions before I was like, anybody have any questions? And they were quiet, and I was like, I know there was questions about parking on your street. We're going to address that, and about sound. We want to make sure that it's not we don't want to do a late night. This isn't going to be a Lollapalooza thing. This is these are afternoon concerts. They will end before the sun goes down, and we want to make a fun community event out of it.
Is there any, like, you think there's any reason to talk to like the V-Trans guys too, just so, I mean, they're right up the road from them, just to let them know there's gonna be this much activity there. I guess it's all weekend events, right?
Saturday.
What's going on?
Yeah, they're all Saturday events, and single Saturday events. So, yeah, what is the concern there? And I can.
I think that you're crossing, I don't know, crossing
get
the
that,
road,
yeah.
and then, you know,
Yeah.
maybe they could help you identifying, you know, the
Yeah.
best ways to exit and enter, you know, because it is a state highway in
Right.
that area. And then I'm sure they already know, but I guess probably just let the Vermont State Police as well know that, if they haven't seen the ads already, that this will be going on, just to know that there's that big of a group of people getting together.
Anywhere, yeah.
I guess, I mean, I think it's a great event. I guess the concern is just safety. That, you know,
I agree,
guess
and
it's
yeah.
that corner, you know, right there, coming around there. And then now that people are going to be crossing Route 5,
Yeah.
I just think we really need to.
So last year he stepped up and provided parking for us. That was unbeknownst to me. He and I'm sorry that I don't remember his name.
Neighbor across the road.
Right, neighbor across the road,
Okay.
and he did it last year, and they put 100 some odd cars in their field, and I didn't even know about it. I was down below, and then I heard about it afterwards, and they said they're totally happy doing it again this year, and so it worked. But I agree that you want to have something in place that says there's going to be a crossing here and make that happen.
Yeah.
And I know that's obviously a big concern. So okay.
Right, so we don't have zoning ordinance or bylaw for large events. And I think everybody's, you know, you're in a rural commercial zone and we'd like your business to be successful and, you know, have this be a good time for people coming and the neighbors and everyone. But our concern is for the safety of, you know, people using, you know, just traveling through on Route 5 and the pedestrians crossing. And so we don't have a big, you know, we can't fall back on an ordinance or something, but I think our vote on whether to approve the liquor catering license would be dependent on the assurance that you're going to have, or the parent organization is going to have law enforcement there to make sure.
Absolutely.
For the full extent of
Yeah.
this.
Yeah, and so what do you need from me to assure that? I mean, what I can certainly get that for you, but I just what form do you want to receive that?
I think, what would you like? I
I
think,
just think any
Yeah, I
type
think-
of written commitment,
Okay, yeah,
saying
sure.
that this, you know, this is who is going to be there
Yeah.
monitoring the situation. And I mean, I think that I went to the event last year. It was a great event, really well attended. But yeah, I think it really just came down to the concerns around traffic and pedestrian
Yeah.
safety. So some assurance that
Great.
those are going to be managed.
And you have 3 similar events like this summer, plus the September.
And that's
as
my
well.
question to you guys: is how would you like us to address that for future? I have the dates already laid out, and we can tell you those. We can come every
Yeah.
month. We can.
you could come, you know, you can do all 3 of them at the same time,
Okay.
or whatever you'd like to do, or if you just like stopping by.
Yeah, we do. I'm telling you, I get excited about these things. I try to contain myself when I tell you about what it's all going to be about, you know. But because I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I think it'll be a really interesting event, and I think your concerns are our concerns. And I think it's the same thing for us. Is like I'm not worried about what's happening down there. I think we've got that under control. We know how to deal with that. It's parking, you know, and it's getting people to and from their cars and stuff like that. That's you know where I'm not going to see that as well.
What's the speed limit right there at Route
It's
Route
30.
5? It's
Yeah.
30
30
right,
right
there?
30 or 40? Okay,
Yes.
30.
30.
I thought it was 40.
40.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is fast.
It's
Yeah.
very fast when you have pedestrians in the
Are
same.
you sure it's 40 there?
It is, right?
I think
Yeah.
Lee would know.
Yeah,
Okay.
45 if you're pushing it.
It might be slower on the curve.
It's slower
So-
on the curve. There's a 30.
Yeah, it might be yellow.
Yeah.
But still,
I'd suggest.
30,
Suggest
40.
So it might behoove us to even contact law enforcement and ask them how we can get some sort of slowdown signage.
That's
on
what-
those
I mean,
dates and,
That's
you know,
my concern is
sure.
people driving down Route 5 that aren't coming
And
to
you
the
come around
event.
that corner, that
Yeah.
corner at the last minute.
Yeah.
Just a little bit of a heads up,
Yeah.
you know, something's
Yeah.
going on.
Sure.
The Agency of Transportation, one of your neighbors there, might be helpful. with-
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
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 So,
Okay.
Yeah, but I think, get in touch with the sheriff, you know, get their their expertise up there to help you out, because
Okay.
you're gonna obviously spec contract with them to
Mhm.
take care of it. But I think back to your earlier question, at the risk of wasting all our time, I would like to see you come each time this summer.
Okay.
So we can kind of see how the previous events
Yeah,
went.
that
We'll
might
bring
be better
snacks
than
next
all
time.
at once.
No problem.
Yeah.
That's
And
where,
you might not have to, yeah, it'd be good to see you again.
Mhm.
And if things are going well, we'll take it from there.
yeah. I mean, you could certainly on your next application, put your following two on the same application, right? And then we could determine if we're gonna approve them both or just one at that time.
It will be 3 more technically. There's a July 28th, August 25th, and then the September 22nd one,
Okay.
and that's it.
You might want to talk to Walker Farm too, because we were talking earlier about how they have safety measures in place.
Oh, yeah.
which Are not, I mean, that's still a tough situation. It hasn't,
Very
it's not
tough
very
situation.
Yeah.
And
fully
people are
resolved, but
in and out to
yeah,
a place.
But there are people there who have been
And you can
thinking
build up
about
some
this.
speed, yeah, and I
Yeah.
think it's the same thing
It's a
coming around that
different
corner.
different site, but I know that they've had patrols there as well, right?
Mm.
Okay.
Are we going to the liquor commission, or are we ready for that yet?
Can I
Leave
ask
that.
one other question as well? So, and just to clarify, we're applying for our catering permit to serve alcohol at this event.
Mhm.
I believe there's also, this is a variance that we're asking for our regular permitting, as I understand it correctly. We're looking for a variance to allow this many people. I think
Right.
I think
We
we're
did
allowed
that
to do
last
500
year as well. Yeah.
people, but I don't think we're allowed to have 1,000. So I also hoping that is part of this consideration at this time. I don't know if it's two separate issues.
I remember that we, discussed that last
Right.
year, the variance.
Okay.
But I don't remember what the process,
I would have thought
that's where
Roger would have said something about that.
Mhm.
But-
Was there paperwork that you filled out last year for the variance? Yeah, you might want to check that.
Okay.
We'll check it too. I'm remembering them as two separate things.
Right.
And where we made the decision to recommend as opposed to require the sheriff for specific
Mhm,
times. But whether that was
Yeah.
the liquor license or the DRB, I mean,
Yeah, I don't think the DRB was.
Well,
I don't
yeah,
recall.
variance would be, that's
That's
like a permanent thing that you would apply for when you're applying for a permit. If you didn't fit within the bylaws, you would either go for a waiver or a variance. So this is just kind of for an event. So I don't think.
We have
Yeah.
we're allowed, I think I think it's 10 events per
Okay, so
year at
this
500
is-
people.
all right,
But
so
this
this
is
is-
something where we're saying
I
we want to
see.
take one of those events and
All right.
we want to turn it into 1,000
Right,
person event
okay,
rather
so
than a
their
500.
conditional use permit
Right.
has limits
Right.
on how many people, and so they're looking.
I just want to make sure we're following all the
Right,
Right.
so I don't know if we're the ones that.
When's your first event? The
The
30th?
30th.
Yeah, I guess we'd have to do some more research. I don't think we can, if they've given a conditional use permit with it, it's not our authority to change that. That's a permit that they've issued.
It's last year was a you guys thing.
Yeah.
It was the select board
Right.
approved it. So I mean we have
I'd say that we should look into this
Yeah.
with
Okay.
Roger.
well, we should I'm looking back at previous minutes and it would take me a little while to
Yeah,
find
sure.
it, but what we did last year. So if you want to also look.
Yeah.
Were you at that meeting last year?
Yeah.
Sorry, I wasn't here. I can't help you.
I don't remember. I'd have to look at the bylaws to see, where.
So do we need
How
to
we
figure
do
that
that.
out before we do the liquor license?
I'd be inclined to do the liquor license and then work this out,
Okay.
because I think we have to get,
Mhm.
um,
Yeah.
Gotta start somewhere.
the DRB possibly, and that will be a process.
Okay.
So that I don't think I'd want to put the kibosh on this because of that.
Mhm. I agree, yeah.
Okay.
So-
let's see.
I'm glad you brought that up, David. That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want anybody to be caught off guard, so, especially not us.
Or the 501st person to be turned away.
Right, yeah. It's gonna be a real intimate show.
Mhm.
Let me see, I'm looking at my notes from last year's show. I don't have it either. So, okay.
I mean, the good news is there's a precedent there and it has been done.
Yeah,
So
right.
we know it's
Yeah.
possible.
Mhm.
Okay,
It's just-
so
yeah.
let's go with that assumption, and
Yeah.
we'll look into this, and you know, if it's already been dealt with last year, then fine, and if we have to do something this year, we'll see what it is and
Okay.
go from there.
Okay.
So we'll deal with the liquor
Yeah.
license for this event on the 30th, and
Mhm.
assume you're good. If you were good
Okay.
last year for this number, then we'll
Right.
assume you're good this year.
Okay.
Mhm. That sounds good. And what we learned, if we do need to go do something with a DRB, we'll certainly, I guess we're the ones going to research that. We'll let you know.
Okay.
And then
Mhm.
you can begin that
Yeah,
process
and
for
let
the
us, we're
future
ready
events
to,
that
yeah,
happen.
if we need to come back out.
Yeah.
You have our email addresses
Sure.
from that
Yep.
permit.
Yes, we know where to find you.
Yeah.
Mr. Chair, this is BCTV cameraman. May I ask a question?
Sure.
Would the June 30th event fall under Dummerston's current fiscal year? Do you guys go with a fiscal year ending?
Yeah, but we're not going to make any money off of this, so
No, I was
It-
just curious that
it
if,
is.
if a variance
it's-
was
it's
for
the-
one,
No,
it's
it's
not.
for
Okay.
yeah
event.
the last,
Mhm.
but that is the last day of the fiscal year for us.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you for.
So we'll check with
Okay.
DRB, and
Yeah,
then,
let us know.
it may be something you're going to want to do, go back before them and try to amend your
Yeah.
permit for a couple events with a larger crowd.
Yeah.
And that would
Right,
be
and
the
that's what we were
purpose.
told, is that, we were allowed the 500 is what we had originally submitted in our initial
Yeah.
permitting, and then we said if there was going to be anything more that we would request a variance. So that's
Okay.
Mhm.
So
What I understood.
We'll look into that.
Yep.
okay.
Great.
We go into the liquor commission now, or are we going to wait till we get further down the agenda?
What would you like to do?
I'm happy to wait until we get further down the
Okay.
Okay.
Sure.
You want to have these guys wait around for that, or?
Oh no, I think.
Well, I mean, I guess, okay.
I mean, we have a lot of, we're going to talk about paving bids, things like that, if you'd like to stay for the show. But
We love some
otherwise,
paving.
we'll just let you know that,
Okay.
I'll send you email to let you know later on tonight.
Okay,
Okay.
Yeah.
great.
I wouldn't worry too much about it.
No.
Yeah.
Thanks very much.
All right, thanks, David.
Hope we'll have we got some comp tickets too, so.
Hey.
I've asked for
I
some
don't
comp
think
tickets.
you
I know
could-
you're not allowed to. Is that, are we still filming? Anyway, we'll talk later. Thank you all very much.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you. Thanks very much for coming. Okay, well, okay, well, let's see.
Doesn't Scott Farm have to do that too? When Scott Farm has events with more than the people that
We
are allowed?
have an
at-
Act 250 that limits,
Oh,
It's a
okay.
lower
So
number
it's
than what they
just-
have
yeah.
anyway. Yeah.
yeah. So, you want to go into the road foreman's report?
Yes.
All right, so our esteemed road foreman, Lee Chamberlain. Let's see, let's find that green folder.
Which
Yeah.
one?
Which
Yeah.
one? I don't know what Joker made. Okay,
There we go.
Can I get the warrants while you're?
yeah,
on that?
yeah.
Where's this sign?
So, Lee,
Yep.
let's, would you like to do the West Street milling and paving bids.
Yep, I think that would be fine.
All right, so we've got bids, you put them on a spreadsheet, and you want to make a recommendation, or just want to?
Yeah, well, Hugh and I got together and we kind of decided that Mitchell Sand and Gravel with the paving at $60.86 a ton, and then the milling also is 50 cents square yard. So we think we should use them.
And have you used them before, Lee?
No, I did call references on the paving and got all good references for the
You did?
paving part of it. Yes.
Okay.
The milling machine is it's fairly brand new.
Oh, is that a good thing?
I don't know.
I was going to assume it was a good thing.
Yeah, well, yeah,
but
it's
I
a
thought
new machine, but
maybe
it's
I
not.
have some quirks to work out.
Right, and they did say that we aren't the first to be done this year, so they're definitely going to have some practice some other places. But I feel comfortable with the and we can check that when they're doing it. So if they need to reset and redo the slope, they can.
How can the milling cost be so much less? The difference between 3 and 12?
Right. And I'm thinking they just wanted to work, and they wanted to get work for their milling machine. I heard
It's a big difference.
Yeah, it's a very big difference. And I think Lane, I believe they have their own mill too. And you'll see they're at $1.20. So, those are the two lowest ones as far as the milling. And I think having their own machine definitely helps. Yeah, it is fairly, it is very low.
Just so we get out, so when you kind of baselined there were some variances between the estimated tonnage by 650 to 7 some change. So when Lee went through and kind of baselined the tonnage on an average, and then of course the milling is what it is, it was about a $12,700 difference. So Mitchell is about $12,700 less than the next closest bid. So it's a significant dollar amount that we're looking at.
Right.
So I bring it because it's I know we've worked with some of the other ones before, but if it's not, that's a lot of money.
Right.
And you've had references and things
Yes,
that you've looked
yes.
at. So I think
They actually paved Black Mountain Road and came up onto Kipling Road in Brattleboro a little last year. We're late. That was them, and I did talk with Brattleboro, and they said if they were low, they would have them pave again. So.
Okay. Good, and we will have Hugh there.
Right, exactly.
To
That
keep
day.
an eye on things.
Perfect.
Your
Yeah.
Perfect.
orange vest? You're gonna get it.
I'm going to see if they'll teach me how to drive a milling machine.
Right, there you go.
Better check their insurance policy.
Let's go down my driveway.
That's right. And then I want the roller. I'm going to come out fully qualified.
Yep.
So, shall we have a motion to award the 2018 paving bid?
I'll move that
And
we
Miller?
award the 2018 paving bid. It's just for West Street, right? For West Street to Mitchell.
I'll second that.
Okay, any more discussion? When, this would probably be,
August, September, more than likely.
Okay.
I think we have a finish date of September 15th. If they're a little over that, it's not a big deal, but middle of October really isn't good.
okay.
I just have a quick process question. When you checked references, were these just references that they supplied to you?
They didn't supply Brattleboro.
Okay, good. So you checked others.
Right, and then the other three, one number was they'd changed foremans or whatever for New Hampshire DOT, and then the other two, I believe, one of them called back
Okay.
on that.
Okay, any more discussion? All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right. Will you let Mitchell know?
Yes.
Okay, great.
Thanks to you for taking extra time on that.
Great.
To go along with West Street, the curb
Ah,
cut.
yes. Okay, for 184 West Street.
I think it's perfectly fine. It's actually good. It gets the cars off the street.
Yeah.
There's nothing, and all they really want to do is remove the grass and put some gravel. They're kind of parking on the lawn now as it goes, so I don't see any
Was there ever a
problems.
driveway to that house? Seems like
I-
there should have been.
I don't know.
So originally they went down, as you're coming south, just past the fire station, there's
Yeah.
that little road that used
Yeah.
to take you to the back side of the post office,
Yeah.
and then I
Oh,
think that's how
to the back side of the post office?
right, and it would take you to the lower.
Not to Newell's.
No, there's actually a road there that's still a
Oh.
right of way that takes
Okay.
you to the school or the library,
Okay.
community center. That's how
Okay.
the buses used to, I think, swing through.
Oh.
But so to answer your question, they come down that road and they had like a carport
In the back.
in the back, in a garage, I think at one time. And then they do have a driveway that they use that's right next to where the Grange Hall is. So up on the West Street, just south of their house, there's a roof
On the other side of the hedge, maybe.
Yes, it's like a one car kind of parking
Okay.
spot.
But they want it where they're parking their cars now.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Okay, the motion to,
I'll make a motion that we approve the curb cut application for 184 West Street.
I'll second it.
okay, any more discussion? All those in favor?
Hi.
Aye.
So Lee, what does that mean for the road crew in terms of what you then have to do in the relationship of the road with the driveway?
Pretty much they'll do anything that needs to be done there.
Uh-huh.
As far as they would be responsible for all the work. As
There's
far as
no
putting the gravel,
culvert that's
no.
necessary, the
No.
drainage, all of that is just pretty
Yep.
straightforward.
Yep, and if that one did require a culvert, the person applying for the permit has to put the first culvert in,
Oh,
and then we're responsible for it after that.
I see. Okay, good to know.
Okay. All right, let's see. Oh, what about the salt, the state salt bid?
Yes, I did look for that. I haven't seen it, but when I was talking to Hugh about it earlier, we can put in for estimated 200 ton. But I never did see that email or however it came in.
Right.
Not sure.
Right, I saw it here someplace, one of these green folders.
And I could have it, I just didn't see
Yeah,
it.
I think they wanted, it was later in June, where they wanted to know
Yeah.
whether you're interested,
Okay.
so.
Do you want me to try to find that and let them know? All right.
I'll look around too.
Okay.
Do you usually, is this how you usually get your salt, or do you shop around yourself?
We've been using the Clear Lane, which only comes from Cargill.
Yeah,
But Cargill had a supply issue last year, so I do know that the state bid last year was a little bit less for regular salt, and it was through a different company. So definitely interested in doing more research on it as far as price. So if we do run out of Clear Lane again, if the salt is cheaper through a different company, we probably should go there. And if it's available.
So will you put that request in for the 200 tons? Or
Yeah,
are you gonna wait to see if, you can get that stuff from Cargill?
I think you put it in, or that's how we've always done it. We've put it in for our estimated, and it might even be like estimated clear lane on Cargill's portion. And then you don't have to take that much. They just want a kind of an estimate of how much they're actually putting out to bid.
Okay.
Through all the towns in the state. But they've never required, if you ask for 200 ton, you don't need to take it if it's an easy winter or whatever.
Okay. Good.
Okay. So,
Got one other thing. This just came in, so this wasn't on our agenda, but this is for the Vermont Department of Environmental Conservation, the municipal roads general permit for stormwater discharges from a municipal road. This was the permit that apparently wasn't ready earlier, and now it's ready, and it has a schedule of fees, and there's just a form that needs to be filled out, and there's a question: has a road erosion inventory been completed using the Department of Environmental Conservation Municipal Roads General Permit, REI, I don't know what that stands for, template?
yeah, that's Wyndham Regionals. That's the grant, and I believe it's going to be done before like November-ish.
The inventory.
Yes, and then that will take care of that portion.
Okay.
And I didn't get that part of it, but this is how they came up with the fees.
Yep.
And right now it's looking like we're under the tier 2, which is $1,350 for the year. Instead, I think we were thinking $2,000, $2,600.
We had budgeted more. Right.
But and that's pretty interesting if you read that, because like a lot of towns like Bellows Falls, Rockingham, you would think they'd all be under one town, but as far as reporting their road mileage, it's not. So they have to both report, and it goes through all the towns like that in Vermont. And it's amazing how many little Lindenville is in Linden, but they both report mileage. I thought it was pretty cool. Okay, we got Wade from our passive group came down and saw me the other day, and he noticed that the alarm system in the garage wasn't inspected this year, or it's been a while since it's been inspected. So I did get in contact with Code 3, and this building's the same way, so they're going to do both buildings and get that taken care of.
Where they check the fire extinguishers.
That's all been done.
Oh, okay.
This is just the alarm panel.
Oh, okay.
It's like, I think they'll check some detectors and those things, and then they'll put their stamp on it.
Okay.
So ended up hiring a part-time employee. He wanted to go full-time, and that's Tyler Lynch.
Oh, great.
So I think it'll be good. He is working on his CDL now. He can't start until July 9th, but we'll manage.
Because of his previous job.
Yeah,
Giving
his
his previous
commitments
employer.
and, right. And
Well, that's good.
Oh
I mean,
yeah, I think that's nice of him to
Yeah.
do that for them.
Great.
So I think it's going to be good.
So we don't need to put the sandwich board up.
Right, exactly.
Right.
And he was already part-time.
Yes. Yep. I mean, I'm not sure if it's been I think it's been probably 3 years. He's been maybe 4 years for part-time.
Great.
So
that's good news.
Oh yeah, that's a good thing. And he's He's on like rescue. He does all this kind of stuff, and it's kind of nice having somebody real close to if somebody does need help.
Yeah. And he knows the other guy. You know,
Yeah.
like he's not like new to
Right.
the crew. I mean, I
Exactly.
think
He's
it's
familiar
easier
with-
on you
Yes.
because the integration is,
Yep.
yeah, kind of already happened.
Yep. I think it's
Does he live in Dummerston?
yes, down in the Schoolhouse Road and East-West Road intersection right
It's
there.
impressive to be able to find all your employees, or not, at least
Yeah.
some of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad it all worked out and we didn't have to go through the other job market.
Yeah, it's tough right now.
Yeah. So tomorrow we are going to be hammering that ledge on East West Road and Hague Road. We cleaned it off today and then to prep it. So that will be taken care of. You saw about the trees. We did quite a bit of tree work. And then the excavator rental will start next week. And we're going to start doing the culverts on West Street. And some stone line ditches. And then we're going to work on the lower end of Stickney, Beaver Pond Road, Rural Road. Well, we have the excavator over there after we get done with that.
What are
And-
you doing on the lower part of Stickney Brook and
Those
Beaver
are
Pond?
stone line ditches
Oh, okay.
on those hydraulically connected
Okay. Yeah.
segments. And then next month, we're hoping that we can get the other segments for the other grant identified, so then we can work on those next month
Right.
in the new year.
You're gonna have a lot of road segments done before the inventory gets done.
We hope.
Yeah.
We hope. But
Yeah.
everywhere you look, you can find them though. So
Yeah.
it's I think. That's
So for
what I have.
just so we, for our viewing audience in the village, so you're gonna be putting the sign up, you're gonna be
Yep.
closing West Street, like you're working, but access will be limited, so from the south to wherever you're at, to the north, so people are gonna have to be aware of
Yes.
how you're gonna get to their houses, right?
Yes, we will post a sign, hopefully for Fridays, we'll post it, or for Mondays, we'll post it on Friday, near the culvert that we're gonna switch out. And then it'll tell the hours that the road's gonna be closed, in that spot. It's gonna go pretty good over there as far as people, after the second day, they'll figure it out. Yeah, it'll go good. I'm not worried. The problem with over there is just the water. There's quite a bit of water. But
Water's kind of your enemy.
yeah, mostly when you're trying to put a culvert in. Got to drain it
We
first.
love it. Can't live without it, but
Yep.
so I figured it out. REI,
Yes.
road erosion inventory.
Okay, great.
It's the road erosion
Thank you.
inventory
Okay,
template.
great. Okay.
So the inventory is just inventorying the roads, which you did a while ago, right? Inventory.
They're talking about the Wyndham Regional inventory though. I'm pretty sure. I haven't read that, but
Yes, this just,
I haven't.
Yeah.
This came in, this is hot off the press. This is
Yeah,
arrived
yeah,
today, so
yeah.
I'll put it over there so you can take a look at it.
Yeah, I think they're giving us until like 2020 maybe to get the inventory done. So you're not really, they just want to know if you have got it completed. So we should be good once we get it taken care of.
Right, we have to submit this form by the end of July. So.
Yeah.
Yep, that form, yeah, yep. No, that should work. All right, well, have a good night.
Thank you.
All right.
Thanks, Lee. Glad you're back to a full crew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
July.
Okay. Great. All right. Now, under correspondence for information, is there anything that you'd like to discuss there? Under the Wyndham Regional Commission announcing grant funding for renewable energy projects. Maybe we should, I'm assuming that went to members of the Energy Committee already.
Which,
The Wyndham Regional Commission announcement of grant funding for renewable energy projects. So I'm assuming they sent that to them, but maybe,
do you want me to make sure they're looking at it and?
yeah,
Okay.
we're just aware of it. We can send it on to them if they haven't seen it.
Okay.
Anything else under that?
No.
There was, under correspondence for discussion and or action, the building communities grant announcement. I wasn't able to open the attachment, so I don't know the specifics of it. I don't know.
Let's see.
So,
Is that something that we often,
no, I don't think we've ever,
It's an event up in like Killington, right, in July? Am I thinking the same thing?
building communities grant announcement?
yeah,
No,
yeah,
I'm
that's
thinking
what it
of
was.
an event. Later.
But I wasn't able to open it. I guess I can get in touch with them.
I have it here.
Okay. Are you able to open it?
Yep,
Hmm.
that's all right. Look at this.
Okay. Okay, maybe I could open that and then, oh, this is what I couldn't do. I couldn't go to
To
these
the links.
links,
Okay.
and that was my problem.
Right. You might
And-
have to, they aren't hyperlinks, it's
Oh.
true.
Okay. All right. So maybe we can just use those to go ahead and take a look at what this is all about over, for our next meeting.
For the next meeting,
Yeah.
okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Want to go on to new business?
Sure.
All right, good. We have a liquor catering license, another green folder. Which
All right,
one is this?
so I
Bring in
would,
some different colored folders for you.
Yeah.
I move that we recess as the select board and convene as the liquor board.
Second that.
Okay. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. So, Whetstone Station Brewery is asking for a request to cater malt, vinous, and spirituous liquors at an event on June 30th between 12:30 and 8 p.m. And over here, and we let them know what our concerns were. So, what would you like to do with this?
We-
Well, go ahead, sorry.
I was just gonna say, can we approve it? I think what we explained to them is there would be conditions, there would be some conditions attached to it and then revisiting for future applications, how things went.
I think if we approve this one, I mean, we're gonna get the, in writing like you asked them, but,
Yeah.
I mean, we can't go back and then rescind this
No,
because we don't get the email.
We
but
don't have to send it in to the state
No, but
right away.
But I think they were very, very willing to try to make
Yeah.
this thing a success, and it's clear, so
Yeah.
I think it's good for the town. So, I mean, I'll move that we approve the requested liquor license.
I'll second that.
Okay, any more discussion? All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, I'll let them know. And,
Is that our only business as the
So-
liquor board?
as far as I know, unless you want to
No?
have
But I
a
will
little
move that we-
cocktail or anything.
I'll move that we recess as the liquor board and reconvene as the select board.
Okay,
I'll
all,
second it.
all right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, here we are back as the select board. We have a contract for the sheriff's department to provide enforcement services for the town of Dummerston for the 2019 fiscal year. And what would you like to do with this?
Well, so we got a discussion. I'll move that we approve the sheriff's contract for the 2019 fiscal year.
I'll second it.
Okay, discussion?
I think it's just a note, and we talked about it, there's no rise, it's $51 a patrol hour, and so there's no cost increase other than we added some hours, if I remember right.
Right, we added hours, we used to be at 18 and a half hours, and then for fiscal year 18, we went up to 20 or something. We
Yeah.
added hours.
Averages out to about 21, a little over 21 a month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we were saying we wanted them to sort of seasonally adjust how many hours per month. And this was based on the sheriff's recommendation for, September, and then again, when warm weather sort of picked up.
And I went back and read the town report just for Sheriff Clark's note that he put in it. And actually, in addition to the hours we paid for, I think he noted in there that we got like 400 hours throughout the year of non-charge time through whatever other funding he had to provide that. So we are getting hours in excess that we don't pay for, but we're paying for 21 a month roughly.
Right. And there's some months where it seems a little light, but then, it might be the next month there. He's way over what we've contracted for, so.
Yep.
So, ready for a motion?
I think so.
Okay.
We
Didn't
had
we
the motion
move?
already.
Move and second. We're
Yes,
having
and
discussion.
we're having a discussion. Any more discussion then? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Aye. Well, let's see, how many, okay, so we'll send it. Good. Okay, moving on. Do you have any reviews? How do you have a zoning administrator review?
Yeah, so, Hugh, we should identify the, select board meeting where you're going to let the select board know about a conversation that you've had with, a annual review conversation that you've had with Roger. And then we would have a discussion about that, we'd all get on the same page, and then we would invite Roger to a meeting where we would then meet with him. And, because it's our one chance during the year to meet with him face to face as a group. And then we would, and that would be an executive session because it's personnel matters. And then we would.
We can go into, if you want to, we can go into the executive session to discuss that tonight, if you like.
Okay.
So.
Great, and then we could, at our next meeting, invite Roger, and you had mentioned, Zeke, that we could put it right away in the agenda
sure.
so that he doesn't have to stay too late.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So why don't we do that this evening?
okay.
Sounds good. Okay.
And then you got road foreman's annual review also? Is it?
Yeah.
That's,
That one,
Not
I will not be ready to talk about
Okay.
tonight.
All right, so that'll give us something to do at another meeting. Okay, so we'll hold off on that. Under unfinished business, we have an application from a resident to join the Conservation Commission to fill out the last year of a 4-year term. And that's Chris Olson, who lives on Canoe Brook Road. What would you like to do there?
Do we need a motion for this one?
Yep.
Okay, so I make a motion that we approve,
The appointment.
the appointment of Chris Olson to the Conservation Commission.
I'll second that.
Okay, any discussion?
So, did you guys meet with him?
Yes.
Yeah, last meeting.
Okay.
We did, but he came a little late, so he stayed and we met with him afterwards and then we weren't able to appoint him
Mhm.
officially.
Mhm.
So, that's why it's in this meeting.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, he seemed great,
Yeah, he'll be a real asset to the Conservation Commission.
definitely.
Okay, we've got a motion and a second. Any more discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And I'm gonna abstain. I don't know him, so.
Will you let him know?
Yes, I will. Yep. I'll give you that gladsome news. Okay, I have no further information on setting up a training session for emergency management for us.
You attended that
I-
full day?
Yes, and there is an option of a mini training.
Mm-hmm.
I thought, well, we could maybe have that on an off week.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the more of us that knew had this training, the better. That's what I
Mhm.
thought. So, but
I
I
certainly
don't have
will.
any dates
Yeah.
yet. So
Okay.
that's another
Yeah.
can we can kick down the road.
And that reminds me that we got an email today about a training that Lori is suggesting that we all go to that has to do with election
Yeah.
something or other.
Mm. Right. Election training. Is this
Right.
VLCT or no? Secretary of State.
Secretary of State, and there are different locations,
One
and
is
there's
in
Brattleboro,
Brattleboro.
and it is
6 o'clock on
6 to
July
8.
9th
yeah.
at the Brattleboro Municipal.
July 9th is
Center.
a Monday.
Yep.
Oh, I'm gonna be out of town.
I'm looking for it right now, because I don't recall it saying that it was something we all had to go to, though.
Well,
It
there
was
was strong
anybody-
encouragement.
Anybody on the BCA, I think is what they're.
Yeah, which we all
We
are.
all are.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
So I think I'll be able to go to that. I don't
I will also be out of town that day,
think I'll.
so I won't be around.
Maybe I should stick around just so we have someone here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
But
could you tell
I
us
think
about
I
it?
sure will.
Could you
Yeah.
report on it?
I'll give you a full report.
Good. Great.
Sure. I'll give you a 2-hour report.
No,
I'll
I
take
think we
extensive
would
notes.
take the cliff notes.
All right. Okay.
I mean, I suppose in theory, do you have to go to the one that's closest to you?
No,
Yeah,
no,
so-
you can go to any one of them.
If it's a really not to be missed event, maybe some of us who aren't here on the 9th could go to another one
Sure.
later on.
Yeah.
Good
Okay.
idea.
All right. I think Lori's going to be going.
Yeah, Laura said she was gonna go,
Okay. Great.
and then Zeke.
So, anyone have any other business? Before we go, I have just some scheduling. Now, at the end of the fiscal year, there are always some bills that come in right towards the end. Our last meeting of the month will be on the 20th. So there are bills that come in, during that last week and a half, that the treasurer, wants to get paid in that current fiscal year.
Right.
So we can do two things. We can schedule a special meeting for something like the morning of the 29th or late afternoon on the 28th, or we can designate a select board member to sign whatever warrants there are, and then we'd ratify them on, during our next regular meeting.
That sounds
So-
preferable to me.
Mhm. I agree.
Okay.
Do we need a motion for that? do we need to like make it official?
Yes, I think we need to make it official.
Would you be willing to do that?
I certainly would.
Is there anyone else that really wants to do
No,
that?
no, I would defer to Zeke.
So I'll move that we, authorize Zeke as the chairman to sign any outstanding warrants up until the 30th, or let's just say 30th of July, or June, excuse me. And we'll ratify them at the next meeting.
I would second that.
Okay, any discussion? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you, Zeke.
You're welcome.
Really appreciate that.
Sure. And then, now, the tax rate needs to be set in early July. Lori tells me the first week of July, so she's hoping that at least some of us can meet during that first week of July. I know there was some talk about just skipping that one. And she needs information back from the state, or Charlotte needs information back from the state so they can put together what the tax rates, some suggested tax rates. So she expects to get that early in the week, so the Thursday or Friday.
The 5th or 6th?
Yeah, are the best bets. And usually to set the tax rate, it usually takes about 15 minutes to do, because she can email the information out, so we have it ahead of time. So we would need,
So our regular meeting would have normally been the 4th.
yeah,
So do you want to move the whole regular meeting to the 5th or 6th?
I could do the 5th, but not the 6th.
Yeah, I think I'm in the same boat.
you could do the 5th?
I don't know,
Okay.
but
We've got
it's possible.
3 people? Okay, so we at least have,
Yeah.
what's your?
I'm not gonna commit to the 5th or 6th yet.
Okay,
Yeah.
so we would at least have a quorum, so we
On the
could,
5th,
yeah,
yeah.
we could do that.
Is it possible to meet earlier in the day, or does it always need to be? Because
I don't think there's anything wrong with meeting earlier in the day, except
I can't.
you can't.
you
Okay.
can't, okay.
So
Yeah, I think
I'm
I'm
not
not leaving
indefinite,
until the
but-
6th, but it's also possible that we could leave that on the 5th, so I don't know. But you have 3, right? Because you said
Well,
you...
I have to
maybe not.
be in Boston that evening, later that evening. So
Oh, on the 5th.
on the 5th, yeah.
Okay, well,
Maybe somebody could always call in, right?
Yeah, yeah,
If somebody had time for the few
right.
minutes
See,
to call in.
we'd have the,
I planned my whole life around being here on the 4th.
me too.
did you expect to have a meeting on the 4th?
Why not?
We can meet on the 4th. I don't know if they'll have the tax rate.
I'll be here on the
information
4th.
Well, sounds like we will have people here the 4th. Is that too cruel?
It's on my calendar, Dummerston Selectboard meeting.
Yeah.
It was on the town calendar, so I just.
You guys working on the 4th?
It's BCTV cameraman speaking. BCTV videotapes the 4th of July parade in Brattleboro,
We could meet there. You want-
but they would be done relatively early in the day. I'm filling in, I forget who's your regular person, so I'm sure
Rich.
BCTV, yeah, Rich. I'm sure BCTV could find somebody to be here on the 4th. I might even be the guy, I don't know.
We'd probably have a pretty short meeting.
It'd be safer for me,
Yeah.
anyway.
Yeah, I can definitely commit to the 4th.
It's funny, usually. Well, it's because
Yeah,
it's
it's
a
just the
Wednesday.
middle of the week.
It's the middle of the week.
Yeah.
It's a crazy time to have a holiday.
Okay,
Middle of the week.
let me check with Lori
Okay.
and Charlotte about whether they would have the
Yeah.
tax rate
Right.
information.
And
then-
I'll check with Alex about our plans and, yeah,
Okay,
in terms of whether I'm here on the 5th.
all right. Getting the payroll done that week might require signing the payroll on the 3rd. And so do you want to, I just make the suggestion, if that's the case, you could have a motion to have me come in and sign the payroll, and then we'll ratify that at our next meeting.
Yeah.
If you want.
And we could do that on the 20th.
We can do that on the 20th.
Yeah, we don't have to do that now.
Right.
Well, if they have the tax rate information, can we have the meeting on the 3rd?
She wasn't sure whether they'd have the tax rate, but
Yeah.
would that work?
Yeah, that would work too.
Okay, so we could tentatively maybe say the 3rd, as provided she has the information that she needs. Okay, let's tentatively say that. Okay, so that's all I have.
The only conflict is their school board meeting at the same time, so, you know, for people who want to be both of those. The public who likes to go to both.
Right,
Not very many of those folks out there,
okay,
but I don't think that's a big deal.
okay. So I'll check with Laura and Charlotte about the 3rd. So, who would like to make the motion to go into executive session?
I'll do that, but do we want to just skip ahead and talk about you want to just get the upcoming agendas on the record, the TV, so then we can let
I'll
Ian
be
go?
here. My policy is I come back in and get you an opening session after executive session. I'll leave you guys and the camera will be
Okay.
turned off, so you don't have to.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
In that case, I move we go into executive session as provided in Vermont Statute Title 1, Chapter 5, Subchapter 2, 313A, if you're interested that far down, number 3, to discuss the evaluation of a public employee.
I would second that.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, come out of executive session and back in the regular open session.
Okay. So I'll just say, so we've moved into that, as I stated in the motion, to discuss the evaluation of a public employee. So we reviewed the job or the yearly review for the zoning administrator, and he had a very successful review, and he's going to continue with us.
Great.
Great,
Thanks.
good. Any other business? Okay,
So we were going to mention our next regular meeting
In the public hearing?
on
that's right. On June 20th, we'll be meeting here. We will have a public hearing at
7 p.m.
7 p.m. on the local speed ordinance, the state highway speed.
Adopting the state speed into our town ordinance.
Yes.
Yep.
And this is just correcting, this was already done in 2003, but we cannot find the actual physical paper anywhere. So we're doing it again.
Good.
Okay,
Sounds good.
great.
All right.
Any other business? All right.
I move that we adjourn.
I'll second it.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.